Hey, welcome back. Sorry about the delay in videos. I've been really busy this week closing out a contract for a position I've been filling and just getting all the work done for that. And my son had his birthday and it's Halloween weekend. So just all around, it's been a really busy week. And I missed this one here completely. So I forgot all about Thursday being the Horus Heresy day. I never went to check. And of course, the week that I don't really keep up with stuff is the week that Night Lords get announced that their upgrade packs are coming, and they're really nice. I think that maybe they're a bit bland for what's going to be a fairly expensive and small volume pack like they sell. You get 11 heads in there. And I was hoping that they'd be a little bit more detailed and less samey, but that's kind of been how it's been for every pack, so I'm not really shocked either. Overall, these are sweet, though. These would look really good on terror squads or just giving it to everybody. I think this is just a really nice pack. You get a sergeant who has the classic Batwing helm. Everybody else doesn't have that. Sorry, that's totally fine after we go back to the 3rd edition, 4th edition metal upgrade packs that everybody had the Batwings, so they were a bit goofy at times when you'd see them. It's nice to see a lot less of that, and this head is really nice. I don't use open faces on my dudes. I just never really think it makes sense. They're in a war zone, shots are going off everywhere. Not having your helmet on is just one less layer of protection, but from a painting standpoint, this is a really nice little head to put on your dude. It's really characterful, and I like he's a wounded guy. He's a little bit beat up and rough looking. Yeah, heads these things are 11 out of 10. These are great. I don't think for the price they're going to be worth it. That's a whole different issue. That's just standard GW problem at this point. Amazing stuff. Do you need to pay that much extra? It's really just down to personal preference and how much you're willing to fork out. Sorry, I need to take a drink here. Just give me a second. Find my drink. Find me. That's better. Now, shoulder pads, completely different thing. I like the shoulder pads that I've been printing because there's a variety of options, and I do like to mix it up. I like the idea that the Night Lords are they've been scrounging and they've been basically adding artistic flair to their own stuff, and there's a variety of different symbols they're using, different iconography, but for shoulder pads that are essentially all the same, this is Night Lords. This is perfect. They didn't muck about with anything weird or new, nothing experimental. They just went for classic Batwing skull motif, and it's perfect. Again, these are 11 out of 10. These are exactly what you want to see. And other than, again, the price, because now remember, you're buying this pack for what I think it's $30 Canadian to buy one of these. For the other ones, I think it's what it was, and then $30 here. So if you buy 20 Night Lords that you want to upgrade, that means you need to spend an extra $120 on these upgrade sprues or packs. That's absurd. There's absolutely no reason for them to cost this much. I feel like they should have handled these the same way they did the special weapons, which I feel the special weapons are a little bit overkill. You have to spend $50 and you get a ton of them, but if you don't need them all, then it's a hassle. You got to turn around and sell them and kind of get your money back for what you're not using. But in this case here, sell boxes of 50 or 60 sets. Well, you sell 30 sets for $50. Well, ideally 40. For $50, sell me 40 so that I'm upgrading 2 boxes of Space Marines, basically. That's one of those expenses that I would say, if you want official, 40 sets of heads and shoulder pads for $50, I'd be okay with that. All things considered, basically, I'd be okay with that. I'm not okay with $60 for 10 guys getting upgrades. I just think that's too much. Especially when, again, they are all repetitive. There's very slight variations at best. And in this case here, I don't know if there's any variation. They don't seem to have any variation on the pads other than these little kind of grooves. I don't know what those represent on Space Marines. If somebody knows what those are, you can tell me. I mean, maybe it's to do with the mark. I don't know. These channels are just there. Anyways, yeah, super awesome. These are great. They just cost too much money. That's just something Games Workshop and Forge World have to work out. Again, if you guys are listening over there, put 40 of these and 40 of these in a box and sell it for the same price as the specials and heavies. And I don't think most people would go, oh, that's too much money. Plenty of us would still complain, but we'd probably buy it too. But for $60 to upgrade 10 dudes, $120 to upgrade one 20-man Legion squad, no, that's just completely unjustifiable. Like, I cannot find a reason to spend that much money. But yeah, ranting about that is over, because now the Sunday preview went out today, and there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Like, I'm just going to scroll up to the top. I thought I was there already. It's a whole bunch of Age of Sigmar. I'm just going to mention these guys just because this is pretty neat. These guys are really cool looking Chosen. And these are probably pretty cool Chaos Minotaurs. I don't know whether or not this stuff would like rank up very well, but I'm pretty sure you could, with pretty minimal effort, get this onto 25mm square bases, because I imagine these are 32mm. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe these are 40, but I think they're 32 based on that. That's probably a 40 or 50. I guess the question is that 40 or 50? That might be 40 in that case. But I think these would still fit on 25mm squares, meaning you could bring these over to Fantasy real easy, I think, with just a little bit of pre-planning on how you rank them up. So that's really nice to see. And that's, you know, nice, cool Daemon Prince for your army, cool Minotaurs for your army. I don't know if I'll grab this because, you know, it's a box set. It's not super useful for me because it gets all this extra stuff I don't want. But once this stuff here basically makes its way into like one of those, they called Vanguard boxes? I don't know what they're called. Yeah, Vanguard boxes. Once they have one of those for these guys, I could see myself buying one to put towards a Warriors of Chaos army. Bunch of new ogre stuff. I think they must be getting their new book, Sylvaneth, Sons of Behemoth, however you say it. But then here's the important part. Libre Imperium, finally. They're about a week behind. They said it would be out by the end of October. I thought that was pretty generous on their part. Games Workshop tries pretty hard to stay on focus and on task and keep their schedules, but they really seldom do. But I mean, if these are going up next weekend, that means that it's only like a week behind. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, on time, as far as Games Workshop goes. Yeah, definitely, I'll be grabbing that. I've got my Vostroyans all ready to go. I need to do a little bit of work touching them up, and a few guys need painting still, but I will definitely be playing the Solar Auxilia with my Vostroyans. And I have a bunch of Grognards from Wargames Atlantic still. They're just going to join in. I think I have some 3D printable heads somewhere that match standard Vostroyan heads a little bit better. And I will just lop off, print out a few of those and just stick them on instead. I did print a bunch already, but I wasn't paying attention to the scale. I need to scale them down. So, lesson learned. But they're actually pretty nice to have, just because there's something I can stick on a peg one day and just do some practice painting. Another little random thing I can add here. Nothing to do with the topic, but if you have a 3D printer, it's always good to do some extra pieces just for practice. Painting faces, especially on a slightly bigger model, gives you a chance to get more at ease with the idea of painting those details, and then you can kind of scale that down. But yeah, Libre Imperium, Solar Auxilia, Sisters of Silence, Legio Custodes, and the 7 deadly clades, if you say this, of the Officio Assassinorum. This guy is one of the new ones. I think there's 4 before, and they've added 3 more. Guy's pretty cool looking. I mean, I don't know. These new ones here are cool, but they just feel like it's a Calixus. They kind of just feel like ones that already exist. This one just looks like a Vindicare assassin to me. Someone's talking to me. With like a Calixus or Calidus pistol. I don't know. He looks like freaking Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe. I mean, that's what I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna buy Snake Eyes here. He's pretty neat looking. I will buy Snake Eyes. I don't know about these two. There's something about this guy that makes me think of a striking scorpion. I don't know why. Maybe it's just his pose. He's pretty cool looking though. They're all cool looking. Oh, tank crews. I didn't notice this part. Oh, that's nice. I mean, they don't match my guys, but who cares? Actually, I would probably chop up my guys pretty good just to put them on tanks, like not the metal ones, but those plastic War Games Atlantic dudes. They probably work pretty good. Solar Auxilia guys look really cool. I'm excited to get these guys on the table, especially since most of what I have for my Australians pretty much is painted, so that's nice. Not having to work too hard. I just gotta get some tanks out and get them prepped. Oh, and made to order Night. Oh, these are the old Night Lord upgrades. These are the ones they're replacing. Yeah, even more expensive upgrades to buy. But I mean, if you're willing to spend the money, buying 10 of these, and 10 of the others, then you get some differences. Although looking at them, I've seen these in person. I think I have some that I got in a trade at some point, and I can guarantee you the new ones are going to be nicer than these. So, you know, I guess it's all just down to how you feel about them. They probably look good on the Mark 4 and Mark 3 Marines that you can buy. I think these are Mark 4 as well. And if you play 40k, I mean, more Night Lord stuff's always nice to get. And Necromunda. I don't really play Necromunda. These are neat terrain pieces, but they probably cost like $100. Heads are cool though. These guys would make like really cool looking like Savlar Chem dogs, if you know your guard. Black Library, some Tau stuff, and some Marine stuff. Okay, these must be yeah, like short stories or something. I've got a couple of these actually. Games Workshop gave them to me as part of a school program a couple of years, 3 years ago. It was before COVID anyways. They sent me a whole box of like miniatures and like different material to like use in the classroom to get Warhammer going. And it was really useful. The kids didn't really pay attention to this part. The students I first showed Warhammer 2 years ago, they really got into the lore and all that. The kids I was showing this past time around, they didn't really get into the lore. I also don't think any of them still play. I think they sort of like, you know, they had fun, but they didn't like stick with it like the first group of young guys did. I mean, they still play. I know they do. But yeah, it's always nice to have these little short stories. They're a great way to like get some ideas and just like have something fun that doesn't like take a big commitment. So these are nice. And Pragnos. I don't know who this guy is. Some Age of Sigmar Centaur. Maybe this is supposed to be like Orion, like changed. I mean, a lot of the characters came over to Age of Sigmar and they changed. I don't know. Black Templar book. That's pretty neat. Curse of Cain. This is like End Times. Okay. For some reason, there's an End Times audiobook. Dark Imperium, but in German. I'm assuming it's also available in English, but I don't know. Sisters of Battle. What is this? It's some sort of like comic book. Neat. Armies on Parade and some stuff for Warhammer Plus. This is the part that I want it for, except that's awesome. That's awesome. That's useless. They gut these things. They take out all the rules. I don't know why they do that. If Games Workshop would just put these things on there with the rules, I would pay for Warhammer Plus just to have those without really any like hassle, especially if I could save them to offline. Save an Empire, focused White Dwarf because I'm painting Empire and just read it on the go. Same with Bretonnians or Imperial Guard or whatever I want to read. Just let me save it to my phone, read it on the go. Let me download Imperial Armor that has all the rules in it. I mean, I get that, yes, you can't use the rules, but I mean, obviously people like me still play older rules, so totally we can use them. We have other options to get those rules, but, I would give you guys money to, actually just get access to those rules. But I mean, that's just me. It's just my thought. Games Workshop and I do not think the same. Anyways, that is it. Something about Slaves Darkness, some sort of hangout and paint. Oh, it's a Warhammer Twitch thing. I don't really watch that stuff. Yeah. It's a bunch of stuff coming next week. That Libre Imperialis is going to be nice, as are all those little bits for the Solar Auxilia. I'm assuming you can buy all the I'm sorry, Iron Hands. I kind of like scrolled past the Iron Hands and didn't even notice them. I imagine you must be able to buy the rest of the stuff still, because otherwise I don't know what they're doing offering all this stuff. So you must still be able to buy the troops and whatnot and the tanks. I haven't looked in a while at Forge World because I don't like the way they've priced things now. I'd rather just buy it from the UK and pay that exchange rate, but Games Workshop and I, again, just more disagreements on how things should be done. And yeah, I'll probably pick this guy up at least. He's pretty cool looking. Yeah, let me know what you think about the new Horus Heresy stuff or any of the other stuff. I mean, I still like to talk about Warhammer in general. And there is some, like I said, nice looking stuff coming out that could be used with the Warriors of Chaos in fantasy. And I do think that I'm starting to feel like more and more like I'm in the camp that probably we're going to get the old world this year. It does sort of feel like that last update kind of like did make it seem like we were going to get a bunch of updates. Probably reading into it too much and going to get some disappointment there, but that's okay. Games Workshop disappointing me is pretty normal, so I can handle it. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts, leave them down below. And as always, have a great day.